Hey, how's it going? This is Dr. Dave Tran with Spinal Missions. We have Dr. Monika Buerger with us. How's it going?
Hey, it's going awesome. Thanks for
Yes.
having me, and I cannot wait for this event.
Yeah, so we are headed down to Jamaica with Chiropractors of the Caribbean. That's going to be December 27th through January 1st. It's going to be, first of all, a mission trip. So that means we're going to be going out there, getting our hands on people and serving the underserved countries. And in this case, it's going to be in Jamaica. And we're going to have some amazing speakers going out there sharing that will be considered continuing education for the docs out there as well too. So, and Dr. Monika is going to be one of our esteemed speakers as well too. So thanks for coming down there.
Hey, my pleasure. And it's actually one of my dreams. So you guys must have been in my brain last year.
Yeah. So you haven't been to a mission trip yet?
No, but it's been on my bucket list. And thank you for letting me check one of those off.
Absolutely. So how did you get started in chiropractic?
I was anti-chiropractic.
Which many people are before, right?
Yeah, and I was working in physical therapy, and the women that I worked for said, hey, you know what, you should think about going to chiropractic college because PT was kind of in flux at that time.
Sure.
And I said, oh no, those guys are quacks. And long story short, I ended up interviewing some docs in my community.
Okay.
And one of them said, if you want to know what chiropractic is, you need to become a patient. And I said, game on. And it saved my life. I was a very unhealthy individual at that time. And that chiropractor is Dr. Claudia Onrig, who is kind of the mother of pediatric chiropractic. So there it went.
Yeah, and that's, it's fascinating for me to see, whenever I first started chiropractic school that, there were a lot of students that did not or have not had ever gotten adjusted, but then wanted to, sign their life away to a couple $100,000 of student loan debt, right? So, this is just a friendly reminder. If you're a chiropractic student or a chiropractor and you hear of somebody that wants to go to chiropractic school, I would, definitely be inspired by that talk is like by requesting them to be under chiropractic care first and foremost so they can have an understanding, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then where did you go to school?
I went to Life West. I've been out, I'm going on my 29th year. I was 4 when I graduated, so just, so no, great college. And, chiropractic to me is I don't have a musculoskeletal practice. I have a practice that half of my practice is geared to those with neurodevelopmental disorders, very severe autistic children, very low functioning children, and the other half is geared towards children and adults with chronic health issues. So my viewpoint might be a little bit different, but I think it's pretty much meshes with your mission in regards to chiropractic saves lives in so many fashions, and it's so powerful.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing that we really want to get our word out is basically, there's so many different ways to practice chiropractic, right? There's different viewpoints, different techniques, different target markets, demographics. But one thing that we can definitely agree upon is that, chiropractic care, like even if it's just one adjustment or even if it's just one interaction is better than nothing, right? And especially in underserved areas of the world. So
absolutely. You know that saying, you never know how reaching the effects are of something you do to an individual. So it is life-changing.
Absolutely. And then so what was chiropractic school like for you?
Aren't we all like the most unhealthy during chiropractic college, sitting all day and everything? But I always say we donated ourselves to science at that point.
Exactly. Right.
But it was eye-opening. It was an amazing experience in that chiropractors in general, I guess we look at life differently. We look at everything as a whole and the whole energetic connection. And I think not only did I grow as a person and as a chiropractor, but as my belief in overall wellness and that energetic connection and spiritually.
Yeah, like I think the same way as well too, because like I, went to chiropractic school thinking that I wanted to get some more stability, I wanted to make some more money, I wanted to become a doctor, so to speak, right? And then definitely left with a whole new philosophy on life that I'm able to apply in every single area. So
Yeah.
it's definitely life changing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then, have you always wanted to work with kids, or when did that start?
In my younger days, I thought about being a pediatrician, and then obviously I'm the best. I think I don't want to call it pediatrician, but I think I'm in the best situation to really serve children in a holistic fashion and really make an impact on their lives. So I'm loving it. And of course, with Dr. Claudia being my mentor, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm obviously going to gear towards pediatrics. And my practice has evolved over the years, and I think that's okay. I've gone through changes that I didn't anticipate, because you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it, until you know it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, like, was there like a specific moment that you're like, okay, I know this is what I want to do?
You mean being a chiropractor?
That or focusing in on helping kids.
It's um, well, with my health struggles growing up, I never want anybody to have to struggle like that in their younger years, and
Sure.
actually up into my 30s. So it was always about changing somebody's life as early in the point of time that I possibly could intervene.
Hmm.
And then when I started in practice, autism really wasn't out there like it is now. ADHD was making it splash, and for me, it was all like there's just a disconnect between the brain and the body, and the body the brain. So once we get that under wraps, and then seeing those kiddos struggle at a much earlier point in time in life and to more severity, there was no question for me that
Yeah.
that's what it would be.
And we have both chiropractors and chiropractic students that watch all of these videos. So what would you recommend to like a chiropractic student that's right in school right now, that that hears your message, that hears the message of the other chiropractors, and the people that are getting profound results from chiropractic care? What would you say to a chiropractic student that wanting to focus in on helping kids like the kids that you are helping right now?
I would say listen to many people as possible, work with somebody that resonates with you, understand that it's okay to change your dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't feel like you get pigeonholed into one form of practice, in one rooted in one opinion, because change is good. Being open and receiving to information, and allowing yourself, because you're going to evolve as a person, and you're going to change a lot from school into practice, and then from first years into practice to longevity. So don't be afraid to change, and listen to your gut and your heart. What really inspires you? Don't try to be like anybody else. Try to be your own unique, beautiful, wonderful self.
Yeah. And the one thing that I do know is that, in chiropractic school, even though it's somewhat limited, but chiropractic students are able to get their hands on a lot of adults, and whether it's, in clinic and sort of like that. So how did you become more comfortable and more proficient about adjusting kids and babies?
Taking a lot of seminars. Of course, Claudia was my mentor. She does seminars. ICPA is a good resource for individuals. ICA, there's a lot of seminars out there that where you can get your hands on kiddos. We had a pediatrics club. Some of the schools now have amazing pediatrics clubs. Be a part of that. Get involved. Get involved, and any which way that you possibly can.
Yeah, like one of the big things about Spinal Missions is that we always want to bring out chiropractors that have experience and the knowledge and the skill set of being able to not only adjust kids and babies, but then also be able to teach it as well too. So that's one of the things that why we have Dr. Monika coming down there as well. And then I know that you are very involved with different organizations and so forth like that. So what do you find is like the biggest struggle right now in that you have, that chiropractors that are like reaching out to you about?
Yeah, it's been an interesting couple weeks, to say the least. I think we have two trajectories going on right now that are of deep concern. Just yesterday, it was released that the powers to be in Australia has put a temporary ban on adjusting children ages 2 and younger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's high velocity adjustments. So right now, they're still able to do touch and hold and cranial sacral and SOT and those type of things. But, they need to be careful on the way they articulate that to the public.
Yep.
The other thing, Canada is also under a lot of pressure right now in regards to children and chiropractic. And the other prong is that of vaccine rights and vaccine exemption. So I've been bombarded, to say the least, the last couple of weeks with those kind of two prongs. And here's the way I see it. And thank you for asking this. Because the way that my brain works is I look at multiple aspects of healthcare and how it all ties together, and then ultimately how it ties into the chiropractic world.
Yeah.
I think educating ourselves, being very knowledgeable on how to speak at a level that is not offensive to people. Mm-hmm. Once we get out there and we start, as soon as you start putting out the V word, the vaccine word, it's a lot of defensiveness, and unfortunately, there's been a camp of anti-vax versus vax, and I think just the word anti is already defensive.
Sure.
So understanding, for instance, being educated, understand how to talk to people and come in maybe through the back door rather than in a defensive mode. Mm-hmm. For instance, aluminum in the vaccines. Aluminum is very neurotoxic to the cerebellum. It's particularly what we call the Purkinje fibers. And that is very important in regards to some sensory motor development, mm-hmm. and especially the visual processing system, which a lot of children with neurodevelopmental disorders have trouble with visual processing and eye contact and so forth. And this has to do also with the development of the frontal lobe, which is our executive function, our CFO of the brain.
Yep.
So we know through various research, particularly that through New Zealand Chiropractic College and Dr. Heidi Havoc, that chiropractic care can affect processing in the frontal lobe. So let's put this together. If we don't allow adjusting of children, we could be losing a very critical point in time when we call these developmental windows of opportunity for the different parts of the brain to develop. So the cerebellum can get affected for neurotoxic reasons, mm-hmm. let's say aluminum. It puts the brakes, it's supposed to put the brakes on the frontal lobe, which can be associated with seizures and different disorders. If we have a toxic child and we can't adjust them and allow to stimulate that part of the brain, we're in a really big, profound rabbit hole.
Sure.
Right? So, does that make sense? So I think if we understand, if we spend a little bit of time and understand how things fit together and affect each other, and we can talk intelligently to other individuals, perhaps that will take down some of that defensive mode, and we can enter into a more peaceful conversation.
Exactly. Exactly, because I completely agree with the whole anti-vax or vax monikers, right? Because if you are immediately going into that stance, then you automatically are in the defense. So a lot of times I like to just say information, vaccine information, and get educated and do your own educated and get your own information rather than getting something that's being reshared on Facebook or Twitter or stuff like that. Yeah, because there's plenty of information out there. Do you are there any organizations that you suggest people to tune into to get the latest developments or to get the latest news and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think NVIC.org is a great resource. ICPA for Kids is a great resource. We've got a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and we'll be seeing some things coming out in the subsequent months. But that's one of the things too I like to hammer out in our Intersect for Life program is how do we pull these pieces together, and really how does environmental toxins affect different parts of the brain? How does chiropractic fit into there? And it's we can do that, and you don't have to. You can do it at your own pace. And I say, at whatever's your bag of chips, get the information to the level that suits your specific needs.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you're planning on sharing when you get down to Jamaica?
Oh, we're going to have fun. I'm going to cover, I have this song in my head, yo ho, yo.
A pirate's life for me.
Ho, a pirate's life for me. I had to get that out. Sorry. I'm ready for the trip. I'm going to be talking about the epigenetic effects of subluxation. So essentially, how dysregulation of input into the CNS leads to a plethora of neurophysiological consequences. And we'll take it in bite-sized pieces, but I really want people to be confident and really knowledgeable in really what they're doing when they do what they're affecting, that profound effect they have when they're adjusting somebody.
Yeah, awesome. And for the first 30 people that join in, that put down that $550 deposit, we'll get that full VIP pirate rewards as we're keeping the theming going, which is going to be one of the recordings of Dr. Monika, as well as reserved front row seating, so you could hear every single word that she's sharing. Her speaker slides and all the other speaker slides as well. We'll have express check-in, roundtable, and special invitation where one of the docs from that will be speaking will be able to sit down with at breakfast or lunch, in a sit-down roundtable special invitation. We have a private Facebook group as well as a limited edition T-shirt. So, definitely put your deposit down and reserve and secure your spot for Chiropractors of the Caribbean. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Monika. Looking forward to hearing you speak and spending time with you down there and spreading chiropractic around the world.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for all you do. And I can't wait to be there. And let's rock it out over New Year's, man.
Yes. Bye-bye.